don't have a goat. This is the best you get for tonight.
What happened to all your kids?
I'm in a different spot, so I don't have access to that
okay.
right now, unfortunately.
Okay. So we got Whatnot Adam instead?
Yep, Whatnot Adam instead. Pretty fitting, I suppose, for tonight's discussion.
The premier promoter of Whatnot, Adam Peterson.
Okay, so well, let's start this properly. Yo, YouTube. Welcome back to the live show. Myself, Charlie, and a whole bunch of goats. They're all around everywhere. You want to see the inside of a goat? I have the inside of a goat. You want me to
No, I do not want to see that full vagina.
What?
You heard me.
Anyway,
you heard what I said.
Have you tried these at all?
No, I haven't even seen them.
Well,
they look
backwards,
dangerous.
I suppose. Peanut butter cinnamon roll.
They look very dangerous.
They're the most ridiculously addictive thing. So I might munch on these a tad during. I've been good though. I've had this down here for like a week.
Yeah,
and I mean it's still pretty full. All things being considered. So.
Did you see what I just did there? Watch this.
I did. You flipped us. Yeah. Whack.
It's like the shell game on Tapper. You got to follow Charlie and Adam.
I'm going to throw up.
And now we're going to open one of them. Which one's all shaken up?
No, I can't. That's way too much.
I figured people were going to be like, what the hell's going on? Adam's on the right and Charlie's on the left. We can't.
I was wondering how that happened because I started the show. It's usually whoever starts the show on the left.
I was wondering too. Yeah.
I'm just coming out of a cold, so I'm at that stage where like my ears kind of plug and then they unplug, and I don't know. So my hearing's all kind of discombobulated. Plus, I don't have my mic. I don't have my mic this week because I was running out of juice and I had to plug in instead.
Yeah, I hear you got a little congestion yet.
Yeah, it's much better than it was, but yeah, not quite out of there yet. So, my name is Adam Peterson, and I am a live seller.
And my name is Charlie Jarnig, and I'm addicted to cardboard.
Yeah, and M&M peanut butter M&M cinnamon rolls. Try it; you won't regret it. So we got a few things to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about that. Live selling versus auction versus buy it now. We've got a little hobby or no-ish type event.
Emphasis on the
type event. I've got some stacks here too. I mean, who doesn't have stacks of cards in front of them? So I could grab a few too. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna show the cards. We've got our let's see. I'll show this one. So here is a Donovan McNabb, 1999 press pass rookie, if you want to call it that, die cut X's and O's.
Mm-hmm.
So what we would do is show this card and we'd say, do you think this card is good for a live selling or buy it now or a traditional auction format, which my guess is that's not going to get chosen very often at all, but it's still available out there.
Narrower kind of lane for that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I still do my 500 auctions every month with my eBay store because why not? They're free. And I usually just put in like, when you buy bulk, you have cards where you're like, I don't really want to list this. It's, but maybe it has some meat to it. It's a parallel, something like that. Kind of like my entire live show this morning on Whatnot. It was all this like basketball parallels, but it's Jabari Smith and Kyle Kuzma and Isaiah Hartenstein, I can't even say his name. Jordan Hawkins, right? Like no big namers, but I don't know. You throw them out at an auction like that. I get a buyer here or there for that stuff, and then it's something you can move at least. It's not base. Yeah. It's not base, so I don't want to give it away.
Just like the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Give it away now.
Do you remember the Dave Navarro Red Hot Chili Peppers days?
Yeah, of course. He was amazing. He's a great guitar player. He's just a wild card, though.
Well,
not that Flea and Anthony Kiedis aren't, but
he plays a different type of music than the rest of the band too, so it never really fit. But so much so that I actually forgot he was in the Peppers until I was watching something a week ago, and they were talking about the history of the Peppers, and I was like, "Oh no, shit, he was in there for a while."
Yeah, I definitely remember that. A little off topic there.
That's what we do, Adam.
I know. So yeah, so that's the hot topic still to for everybody to talk about is the live versus buy it now versus how many listings should you have? Should you just run it all in a show, be done with it. My opinions have changed quite a bit after some success on the live side that I hadn't been favoring too much, but I've got it pretty well figured out and having some fun with it and getting a lot of things sold that were sitting around. So today, I'm going to try something brand new, and I don't even know if anybody else has done this yet.
Okay.
So I schedule a live show for Friday. A Josh Allen show because I get so many requests for Josh Allen on the live.
Yep.
And I thought, well, I don't want to do just Josh Allen. I want to throw some Bills in there because inevitably somebody comes in and got any other Bills, kind of thing. So what I decided to do was just import from my Whatnot fixed listings into my show, which is an option. And it's kind of nice because it actually puts the card in there and the image and the description and all that instead of just the card 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
But I made my lists with my SKU numbers because I'm going to have to go pull all these cards to sell them on a live show. So I'm going to try that, see how it goes. The other thing I want to try, but I want to kind of get through this one first, is during a show, if somebody says, hey, do you have any, Ron Yeri 1977 Topps football, can I add that item to my auction list and import it from my inventory right there during the show? The only downside to that is I have to get my ass up to go pull the card because you got to put it on camera. But that's something that might be kind of handy to have at some point, where you could have just some, it's so hard to know what's going to go, right? So you can't have just a box of everything and, oh yeah, sure, I knew you were going to ask for a Bam Adebayo pink. Well, if it's listed in the store, I should have a way to pull that and be able to auction it, but I don't want to disrupt the entire auction either.
Yeah, I guess what I would recommend is have a couple generic listings at the end of your list that you can grab for randos. I would not try to, pull everything in the middle of a show.
The only problem with that is you still have to pull the card.
Yeah.
So I have to know where the card is.
True. Yeah.
So if I pull the piece of inventory in, it'll tell me the SKU and then I can grab the card. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. That might not even be anything that's possible. But I got all these added into my show. So if you look at the Josh Allen show for Friday, you'll be able to see every card listed there that's going to be up for auction, minus anything I pull out at random, of course, because I will build some randoms. And actually run my giveaways. I haven't run any. I've programmed giveaways and I've never run.
You're having trouble with that, huh?
Just forget about it. You just knew enough that, when you start the show, you just get going, especially when you start getting bids. I'm one of the things that I super learned that I don't like, because I don't do any live buying. So I'm like, oh, what does the customer want? Right. So a little, as I was watching shows, trying to improve for my own stuff, one of the things I hate is where it's just sitting there and there's no card up for auction and there's all this time in between. And, I don't get that. That doesn't make sense to me. So if you watch, you can VOD my last couple shows. It's put it on here. Oh, no takers, gone. Put this one on here. Go to, oh, you bought it. Great. Here's the next one. What are you looking for? Warriors. Okay. Here's another Warriors. Boom. Because, unless you want to have like a 14-hour show, I want to try to put as many cards through as possible, especially when you have the audience and you're getting bidders. It's pretty rare that somebody comes in and buys one card. So they're there to buy. So you want to kind of keep feeding the machine, right?
Yeah, that puts a wrench in it though when you got to chase down cards for randos.
That's the problem. Yeah. Now the 2-man show, which was originally my idea to be successful at this, that would help a lot because you could just have the second man run out the, stand by the bags and pull your cards. The problem with that plan for me is just the time of being able to do the shows and trying to do multiple ones a week. It's just hard to get another person here. And I found a super niche that I love from my shows, and that's doing early morning shows. So yeah, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to do them by myself, which I am enjoying it. I'm more so than I had before. As I found some success. I've gotten some good followers and stuff, and I've got I haven't done card giveaways yet, but I do have my little logo stickers. So like for the bigger buyers, I've been putting my little dollar box stickers in with the orders, and just trying to build off of it from there.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I saw eBay Live had opened up to like a lot more sellers now, and now those streams are not getting the bids they were before. Okay. You and I can somewhat attest to that with our third-party auctioning that we're doing.
Right.
I watched the entire stream. Well, 99% of the stream last night.
Yeah.
I was sitting in a McDonald's, just had the thing on the phone, and like, I'm just gonna watch this and see how it goes. And man, that show was struggling.
Tuesdays are historically one of the
struggling, and that's a big name seller, with a good following. And I was like, man, it's getting crushed. You still have the weird stuff like Donruss Otani base go for like $17 or something insane.
Yeah.
But some really nice stuff. One thing that I find really interesting in live selling, especially on watching these shows that we're selling on the last few days, there's some cards that are very popular, right? That get submitted quite a bit.
Yeah.
One of them is the 89 Fleer Ken Griffey Jr., I believe it is. 89 Fleer Ken Griffey Jr. And I'll see one go, like, same crowd volume, right? Maybe a one or two viewers different.
Yeah.
But one gets put up for bid and it goes for like $30. The next one gets put up and it goes for $3.
Right.
I don't get that. And a lot of
one buyer willing to pay 30 already got his.
Right, but then, I don't know. You're right. I guess you have to have one more bidder then because you already got a buyer. But you'd think the guy who paid 30 would just pay $3 for a second one, or at least bid it up. I don't know.
He might have spent his allowance on that one.
It's just interesting. That one and the Gray Bar Classic Derek Jeter rookie, or XRC if you want to call it that. He's in a minor league uniform. You know which one I'm talking about?
I might.
So it's like a full picture card with him kind of like, fielding the ball in the grass, and it's got just a gray bar down the side.
His feet are like really wide, and he's
down.
Kind
of short stopping it out there, if you will. Mm-hmm. Total skinny. He's like 16 years old or something insane. Mm-hmm. But anyway, there was like 5 of those in that show. It was crazy in one show. And I saw one go for like $14, $15. I'm like, well, that's a good price for that card, right? And then a couple other ones went for $3.50, which is
and that's a problem. So. They shouldn't really be putting 5 of the same card in an auction like that, unless it is somebody hot right now, maybe. Mm-hmm. But that's diluting the auction if you're putting 5 classic, names that are readily available in the same stream. I think that's a mistake.
Yeah, I agree, and they don't care because they're just getting what they want out of it. But anyway, so. Just a lot of different interesting behaviors and buying some different things to try to cater to that side of business, because things that sell there sell differently.
Sourcing is different. So one of the things that I've really learned over time, and I keep thinking about every day in my operation now, is the concept of selling lanes. Every card should be intended for a lane when you purchase it, right? which means, by default, you're sourcing for different types of cards when you go out. Now, the benefit, if you utilize all the different selling lanes, you kind of have carte blanche at a card show, because you can get some live stream stuff, you can get some traditional auction stuff, you can get some buy it now static selling stuff. But the caution then is, hey, you can't use them as a fallback to excuse overbuying, right? You still have to stay disciplined in your buying.
Yeah, I agree, and I still believe, even though I'm coming around some on the live selling side, I still believe that the buy it now is crucial, to selling and to business, because, and I was packing orders before we got on here. That's why I was late, because I had a lot to pack, due to a Car Dealer Pro issue. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, I was looking at some of the stuff that I sold. I'm like, no way in hell would I put this in a live show,
Yeah.
Third year Herman Moore Topps card, base card. Like, fair. That's not gonna,
Each lane has different characteristics for cards. When you're talking about the buy it now lanes, you're looking for searchable cards. What are people searching for? And you want to find matches to that. When you're talking live selling, in my opinion, which, full disclosure, I have not been a live seller yet directly, but I've done my fair share of research because I want to at some point. Live selling, it's heavily weighed on that eye appeal, that visual interest. Can you quickly tell a story on this one? And the host plays a lot into it as well. Mm-hmm. But I think more than any other lane, it relies on that eye appeal. There's got to be some kind of pop that instantly tells a story.
Yeah, there are certain ways to run the auctions as well that are better than others, in my opinion. Not even my opinion, in my facts, because I've done different types of shows, and there's definitely ones that have been way more successful than others, ones that encourage competition, things like that. So, yeah, I think it's something that, everybody should kind of at least start and dabble in, and then, try to figure out a regular schedule on how to fit that in.
Yeah.
To your business.
The way I look
it's nice. I sold an extra almost 400 cards already this week just because I did them on a live show,
Yeah. Yeah. The way I look at it in just a real quick sense is static bin equals search. That's people keying in what I want, this card in this set in this year. Auction, a traditional auction, that's all about competition. That's probably some scarcity on some cards, hot prospects while they're hot, where everyone's looking for them right now, right? And then live selling, I would call that the reaction lane. That's where it's energy driven with a host. It's impulse driven with that visual. Now the exception is you want to make your items in a live auction stackable too. So that Derek Jeter you were talking about, that doesn't have a lot of visual pop to it, but if you've got some 90s inserts that pop and you have that Derek Jeter, now you're building stackability. You're doing cart building with it.
Yeah, well, that's another point I was going to cover as well. First of all, Derek Jeter is the best shortstop of all time, so there's that. But the other thing is shows that just wander, right? Like, I've tried the baseball singles show or mixed singles show.
Yeah,
that's not. I'm gonna go with theme shows, and I'm gonna have specific reasons why these cards are in this show, and try to capitalize on an audience that's there based on what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Now, these basketball singles that I sold today, honestly, have no business selling at all, and that was why that's why I tried it, because it was gonna be, man, I got to get the right people in here to bid. Now, I didn't get a lot of bidding competition. It was a lot of just $2 sales.
Right.
But it was a lot of $2 sales on cards that, I paid 3 cents a piece for them. So, I wanted to try. I want to try some things and kind of see, like, okay, well, I could do this show again. I still have. It's a 3-row box. I only sold 70 cards or whatever out of it so far. So, I could rerun a show like that many, many more times.
Yeah.
And keep selling a bit of them as I go. But here's my take on it. So Buy It Now is like the random stuff that you're right, somebody's going to search for. Well, I'm looking to buy Herman Moore Detroit Lions cards. Well, good luck finding that in a stream that's running right now.
Right.
Good luck finding, unless it's like really big cards, good luck finding those in a standard eBay auction. That's a great Buy It Now listing, right? Those types of cards. And I'm using that as an example because I literally just had a 10-card Herman Moore order, which is not that common. And then the live, to me, is, you're right, it's got to be something that creates competition, because the whole point is, if you got one person bidding, it doesn't go anywhere. It's not gonna.
Yeah.
It's not gonna
increase. I mean, a bunch of 99 or $1.99 sales, it feels more like a dump of cards than an actual win.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that too. I mean, that's essentially what I'm doing with the basketball, because I got it so cheap.
Can still be a win.
And they're not based. There's still more value to it than, like, I'm just trying to push, a base card. But to me, in those live shows, it has to be something where there would potentially be competition. So it's got to be players with real hobby. If you have a room going and you got 25 people in your room, which, by the way, is a pretty good room, are you going to have a bunch of bidders in there that are going to bid against each other on Herman Moore cards?
Yeah.
Probably not. Ken Griffey Jr. cards? Yes.
Yeah.
Mike Trout cards? Yes. Ohtani's dominant, obviously. And then that's where you can start getting those inflated prices, right? So the Ohtani card, you could list at a Buy It Now and sell it right away. This is the wrong part of my attitude before this. And I'll eat the crow, that's fine. I was like, well, Ohtani sells instantly. Why not just list it at Buy It Now and just sell it then? Like, I didn't get what's the motivation then to put it in live. Because instead of selling it for Buy It Now at $4 in my store, I can put it in my live show and it could get bid up to $15, right? So that's ultimately what you're trying to do. You're trying to put the stuff in your live show. In my opinion, it's extremely important to theme out your show so that when people jump into your show, they see that thumbnail and they come in, they'll be ready to buy the types of cards that you're putting in that live. I've done a few live shows. Most of the live shows I did before this were just mixers. I'd go out and I'd buy a stack of cards that I knew had, decent margin in it, random stuff, mostly ultra modern stuff, because that's what you can buy quick at a show or a shop. And then I'd run these random shows and be like, well, why isn't anybody buying the Judge? Why isn't anybody buying the Griffey? I'd scan those in, list them the next day, and half of them would sell Buy It Now. So I'm like, well, I don't need live. Live selling is not doing anything for me, right?
Yeah.
But what I didn't realize was, when you're just creating a random titled show, you got to get lucky and have the people pop in with this. You have to curate and create your show more than what I think is let on. Like, to be successful.
I agree with that 100%. Because you want to draw in the buyers that want the stuff you're going to present.
Yeah. So another thing I'm going to do, I actually just made a big purchase on Facebook Marketplace. Another thing I want to do is start doing some set breaks, because those are fairly successful. In live shows, you already are kind of curated, right? All your cards go to one set and one sport, and you could try to sell commons. If they don't go, you can start bundling them and then do lots, and you can still get out of the whole set pretty easily.
Yeah.
Especially if it's vintage and that kind of thing. And I think that's going to be buying several sets, that's going to be a good thing for me to just have set aside. So when I don't have time to curate for a show, I want to do 3 shows a week minimum. If If I don't have time to curate a show, I can grab a set and go, yep, 1965 top set break, and that'll be my show for tomorrow. And then I just simply have to open the cards out of that box and run them.
Yeah.
Because some easy curation, I think, is a smart idea if you're a busy person, which most of us are. So yeah, I think I've got a lot of that figured out. I spent a lot of time these past few months. We talked about this on the last few shows of really perfecting my store and my coupon and my newsletters and things like that. And that's exactly where it's still exactly where I want it. I've said this, for a few weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, man, I can just leave that alone. And I just scan in my listings at the beginning of the month since I have my own scanner now to get right up to 60,000. And then I'm just going to leave it for the month. Whatever sells. In the meantime, I'm going to curate shows. And if that means pulling inventory out of that store, that's fine. But that's going to be my focus, and then just fill the orders on the buy it now side as they happen.
Okay. So you're not at all worried about the impact of kind of batching your listing early in the month and then not listing for a while?
No, I haven't seen any difference in that at all. Not at the amount of listings that I have.
Yeah.
Do you get a little bit of added velocity when you list cards? Sure, but I can create a lot more of that doing a live show. You know what I mean? So the bit I would lose on that eBay side, I will definitely gain focusing on the live shows and doing it correctly.
Okay.
So now I have a lot of frustrations right now with eBay, Card Dealer Pro, scanning in general, and eBay's got outages. Card Dealer Pro, on my second Card Dealer Pro account, they dumped all of my listings off of eBay and whatnot, except for 4,000 of them.
Yeah. So
I had 15,000 listings that I had to go and relist. And I spent a lot of time doing that. I'm like, this is dumb. Now, the nice thing is, since those all show up as new listings, I got a ton of sales, right? Mm-hmm. I hit about double, my daily sales in my eBay store of what I would normally get, but it wasn't worth the 10 to 12 hours extra of time I had to go through just to do it.
Okay.
So now, when I said earlier about hitting the 60,000 listings and just leaving that's that store. I still have space on the non-sport store, so I'm still going to be listing throughout the month in that one.
Okay.
So because I still want to create velocity there. So another thing for the future plan within the next couple of weeks, hopefully, is I want to try to run a non-sport show. I have no idea how to do that. I'm going to have to watch a few because we talk about this a lot. Non-sport is so wide. It's, everything. Yeah. Like, you could be like, oh, I'll do a basketball like I did this morning. I'll do a basketball show and just throw this color stuff out there. That's fine. You can curate a show out of that. But how do I put like some Batman cards in and some Back to the Future cards and some Addams Family? Like, do you do like an 80s TV show theme? Do you do like a sticker insert show? So it's all just the sticker cards from the wax packs. Like, I don't know. That's going to take a little bit more thought and feel to try to see if you can get anything, to pump out of that.
Right.
There's no worse feeling than when you run a show for an hour and you don't sell a single card. That's gross. That happened to me once. My fault mainly. What I've personally learned is that primetime shows are not going to benefit me because I'm not big enough. The primetime channels are pretty, that time slot, those time slots are dominated by certain channels already.
Okay.
And that's okay. I'm okay with that because I found my audience and it's going great. So my whole point in this one to everybody else, anybody else watching, you don't have to do it the way everybody else does it. You got to find your spot, find, what you want to sell, find your time slot, find your people that want to buy from you, how you want to curate your shows, how you want to title them. And there's plenty of information out there. There's a lot of data now, like, what shows sell the best and whose cards sell the best. Like, you can do that if you want to gather that information as well. But, just because Barry Bonds is the top seller on this channel's shows doesn't necessarily mean he's gonna be a top seller for you.
Right.
We've talked about that for a couple of years with eBay. Like, I sell weird shit, and other people are like, I can't sell any of those cards. How do you sell those?
Yeah.
I can't sell Elvis cards, and we had somebody on Discord this week talk about selling an Elvis card. You know, and it's fun. We have a good time with that, but you know, so you just kind of have to you kind of have to do your own thing. You can be a live seller and be one of the yelling screamer guys and blowing air horns and screaming goats and all that, and that's the way you do your shows. And I'm sure there'll be a particular audience for you. You could be. I saw a show the other day where the person didn't even talk.
Oh, really?
Put a card on there, ran it, took it off. Put a card on there, ran it, took it off. Now, maybe it was just because their audio wasn't working. I don't know, but I kind of liked it. It was kind of nice. Think about how many people are looking at those shows and they're muted because they're at work, they're on a bus, they're in the car, they're sitting waiting for their dinner with their family, and so they just don't put the audio on anyway. So this guy or girl or whoever's running it, this person was like, screw it, I'm just gonna not talk. I'm just gonna let the cards talk, and it'll be quick because I won't be babbling, and you know, I can't tick anybody off if I don't say anything, right? So you can't, you know, you're not going to offend anybody that way. Chat was not very eventful, but what are you there to do? Sell cards or to chat? You know, some would argue, you know, both can help each other, and that's true too. But this is what this person is doing and finding some success with it. So, you know, the beauty of running your own business and being in a business like this is there is no set structure. You can do what you want. You can do it how you want. You can decide what kind of cards you want to sell, how much money you want to make, what platforms you want to use. Like, it's all up to you. You know, if you want to just list 50 cards in your store, you can do that. We have a lot of people on the Discord who are like, I have 500 listings and I don't want any more than that.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot of people who they have no inventory, right? They're just buying a little bit and selling it. Well, that's the exact opposite of what we got. You know, we have a capitalized business where we have a lot of inventory, money in inventory. So yeah, it took me a bit. I found my spot. I like it. I'm enjoying it. I'm a super morning person as it is, so it just really fits.
Yeah, you probably couldn't pay me whatever you made in that show to get up at 4:30 in the morning to do a show. Mm-hmm. Like, I would much rather be sleeping at that time of the day. But you're a morning person. Like, I would rather be up until 2 a.m. and then sleep until 10.
Gross. No. Even with my M&Ms, that wouldn't get me through. But that's the point, though. When everybody's like, oh, you have to do your shows late at night. Well, not everybody's a night person either. You know, some of these guys in the chat, they're like, oh, I got an hour before, I got to head out to work. So I do whatnot for a bit in the morning. And, I get up, I'm out of the shower, and, I'm just taking a few chill minutes before I got to hop on the bus or the train or take the car ride to work. Like, there is no time slot where you can't shop. So, and like I said, I watched prime example. I watched a primetime show last night with nice cards in it. I mean, they were all nice cards, big name seller, and the show was a total bomb, other than a few cards. Luckily, one of those cards that wasn't a bomb was one of mine, so that was good. My other card that was in it was a bomb. So, that's just kind of the luck of the draw of that as well. I mean, you're not necessarily going to sell everything either. But I kind of look at it like, okay, if I get a new stack, I got a whole stack of football here, right? Like, there's no reason I couldn't run all these in a live show, even if they're not prime live show material. Because if they don't sell, I can always just scan them and throw them in the store too.
Yeah, but
so
you're minimizing the time you would spend trying to run them in that show that had no fruit to bear. Well, so would you want to do that? No.
No, but I mean, let's say you got an hour for your show, right? And you've got this stuff curated. I'm not saying like make a show out of that. No way.
Yeah.
But let's say you've got your stuff curated, you ran your show, you've got 10 minutes left before you got to head out or you got to be doing something else. You can try a few other cards in there and see if you get something.
A few others, sure.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't want to build, a major chunk of your show around trial and error type, chances. Because that's one of the big differences when you're assessing, do I want to be a live seller? Do I want to be a static buy it now seller? That's one of the big differences that comes into play. You can let something sit for 2 years and buy it now before it sells if you want. If you're going to run that same card in a live selling environment, you still got to prep for that show and pull that card and get it ready and show it. And that's real estate you're using in that time, and it doesn't sell. Well, that's sunk costs now.
Well, yes and no. Of course, everything you do has, some sort of time cost to you. But if it's literally a stack of cards that's here that I haven't listed or done anything with, and I go, I don't know. I sold a few other Chargers cards. I'll try this Antonio Gates. I got one more here for you. We got this Antonio Gates. It's 10 seconds of my time.
Well, yeah. We're talking two different things. You started out by saying, if I take this stack of cards and do it, now you're talking about one here and there. I'm 100% with you. Throw one in there here and there, but I wouldn't build half your show on stuff that
no
business.
No, yeah, you misunderstood me. I was talking about just trying to get a few extra things in there as you can, and I've had success with that on the shows that I have done as it is. That I did a Brady and Mahomes show, and it was basically all base Brady and Mahomes because I had a stack of them on my desk, and I'm like, I don't feel like listing these. I'm just going to run them, and sold pretty much all of them, which was surprising. But then I had somebody say, "Got any bills?" And I'm like, I don't know. So I grabbed a stack here and I went through, and I'm like, I got this Jim Kelly card. Okay, $2. It was a collector's choice base card or something, and then somebody else later on asked for something 49ers. So I kind of flipped through and I had an 89 score 49ers Super Bowl card. So I threw that up there. Yep, I'll take that. And, So my whole point is you can curate your show, but you should still have something accessible that's maybe outside of the realm of the intended theme. In case you got somebody that's hot and going into it.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm getting at is what you source for your live auction should be intentional for the most part.
Yes, 1,000%. Yeah. And these were not sourced for live auctions. This stuff here was sourced for buy it now. We're talking 5-cent cards, 10-cent cards, stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean, I still have a ton. I got a ton of this stuff. We're going to be doing a few shows of that for quite a while, but
yeah.
I always wanted to try to sell some basketball. Basketball sucks for me really bad. I'm not the only seller who says that. I hear it all the time. But I don't want to completely disclude that audience from my live shows either. So this is a way I can participate in that. I'll have some LeBrons and some Currys and things like that. Anytime I run any basketball, I got any Kobe's? No, I don't. I'm not putting Kobe's in here. So
yeah, everyone's looking for Kobe's.
Everyone wants Kobe. He's like the instant seller. That's what I spend all my collects credits on is Kobe cards.
Yeah,
they turn into gold as soon as I get them in. I scan them in, and they're gone in a day. So stuff is still hot.
It's interesting too because I mean I watched that too. So, and it's a lot of Kobe cards that are not hard to find. Like they're Kobe commemorative sets that were printed, just with him in it, and like you can find them pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, the Black Mamba sets. Yeah. They sometimes trick people in the lives. So here's the other thing with people who shop in lives, they don't necessarily know much about cards.
Yeah.
That's why I said if you stick to like the names, they'll be like, oh, Babe Ruth. I know who Babe Ruth is. So like I sold that blue hollow foil for $7 and some odd cents. that Babe Ruth
Yeah.
blue holofoil. And I mean, I had no business selling for that. It's a super common card. You know, you get a blue foil in every, or a couple blue foils, I think, in every rack pack or hanger pack or something. Anyway,
Yeah.
you know, it's maybe a $2 or $3 card, but I was like, but it's Babe Ruth and it's blue. So, and the nice thing with a live show is try to put in shiny cards because it shows them the best versus photographs, you know, and you're buy it now. So I actually consider that was one of the reasons again for these. Like when I scan these in and I put them in the store at $2 a piece, you don't get the same buzz off of this as you do, you know, when you kind of, ooh, that looks nice, you know.
Yeah.
The pink Hypers really pop, you know.
Mhm.
So you know that's something to consider too. You got to start looking at like what is my camera work gonna like on this on this card. Our business has gotten weird, dude. Like when I started this, it was like, oh, I list a few cards. I took pictures with my phone. Oh, there's an app now. This is a lot easier. When I started in eBay in 1996, I had a 2 megapixel digital camera. I took pictures of the items with it. Then I had to plug my camera into my computer and download all the photos and
Mhm.
then rename them and sort them all so I knew what the hell I was doing with it. I had to read a book and learn how to create XHTML
Mhm.
because the description fields, if you want anything bold or colored or any kind of graphic on it, you had to put in the, you know, less than B slash greater than, you know, to bold the word and then put the B on the front of it of the word you wanted bolded. And I mean, that's wild. It's wild
Yeah.
where it is now, just even on the eBay side. And now it's like, man, now I can't even just list stuff in a store. Now I got to do the live thing. I got to do the auctions. We got to do card shows. We got, if you want to make it, you know, a career business type of thing, there's enough opportunity now to do that because there are so
Right.
many sources you can create income from and make real money. My cold lingering around there. So I don't know. I think it's fun. I'm having a good time with it now. My eBay store, I feel like, is absolutely perfect where it's at. Other than as things sell, I got to keep it full.
Yeah.
Um, I can pull stuff out of there to do live shows if I feel like. I've got years and years and years of stuff scanned into that store. Some of that is going to be better live fodder, right?
Yeah.
Because that wasn't something we were doing then. So now I can just easily pull a nice stack of cards, curate my show right out of my own inventory. It's great. It's gonna be wonderful. So do some live selling. I've got a little bit of social media presence with this channel and doing the goat show and lives there and stuff that I think that I can maintain an audience. I can be good on camera. I got some compliments on my last show because I was actually getting some competitive bidding and it was exciting and it was like, oh, Bill's got this one, 4 seconds to go. Oh no, John comes in with 1 second to go and pulls it off. Nice win,
You were geeking out.
I was just kind of auctioneering it a little bit, right? Like, egging on, like, Bill's going to win this one in the last second. And it just made it a little bit more fun, I think. So,
That it would be a nice speaking of pulling your inventory in. I don't know if Whatnot has this filter either, but like it would be a nice enhancement for eBay, and I think on Whatnot too, if they were to add like ComC has, where you can filter by era, and say, hey, give me all the 90s baseball I have, and kind of pull some
the
of
only
that
way
for
you could do that
building
is
those
if
teams.
the only way you could do that is if you had it as a category in your store.
Right.
Yeah, which I don't. So basically, and I guess I don't know. I don't want to give too much away either, but I basically have a layout of how I'm going to curate my shows, and it is going to be based on easy searchable things in my eBay store.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something I would suggest. Most of you don't have 60,000 listings and even have to think about this. You can just keep your 10,000 listings in eBay, not pull them out and put them in a live and just go buy other material for your live shows. That's how most of you should run it. That would be the easiest way to do it. But I got a lot of cards in there. I got a $500,000 worth of cards in these cabinets back here. If I can juice some velocity into some of those and get them sold, yeah, I'm gonna pull them and do a live show. Why not?
Sure.
Especially if you can get more for them than what you did when you listed them as, buy it now. I also figured out my pricing on my live per card because I was getting frustrated by that because they charge you that damn 30 cents because every card that sells, they charge that card right away, even if the buyer buys 30 cards. But I found a way to combat that, and I've got that fee covered now. So even if the cards sell at my starting price, I'm good to go. So something to consider. You always got to watch your fees and expenses and things like that because the price that card sells at is obviously not all the money that you get. And then you also have your cost of goods. So you better be making sure that when you do sell those, that it's worth your time and you're actually getting something for it. You have to assume every card is going to sell at the base price.
That's the first rule of figuring out, did you have a successful show, right? Did I make a profit after all the costs? And I think the tricky part where many sellers fall short is they don't truly include all their costs.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's part of it. I mean, you always have your shipping materials and things like that. One of the things for me with the live selling, and I don't know if everybody's experienced this, but most of my sales come from just a few of the bidders. So it really cuts down on the amount of supplies and stuff you gotta use to ship. So if you got, if you sell 100 cards, but you only have like 7 buyers, and all my padded envelopes are free. I get those from eBay, so I don't even have a cost in that. I basically just have a couple of top loads or a couple of card savers, and then that's my expense. And sleeves, but sleeves are mostly free. When you're buying inventory, stuff comes in sleeves.
Yeah.
Or I get them free when I buy my card savers too. But I am gonna try supplyhut.com and try to buy some stuff from them. I'm looking for a new source for number 10 envelopes. Prices on Amazon have gone up. Other than when I have Amazon Associates money, then I get them for free, so that'll do. But I want to try find another source for bubble mailers, because if I start doing more Whatnot and less eBay, I might eventually just combine my 2 stores back into one to simplify that for me. And then I'll lose the one coupon, so I wouldn't get more bubble mailers. So I'm trying to figure out ahead of time
Yeah.
what those types of things, how they would affect me. But Whatnot comes with a lot less fees because it's 8% for your sales. You don't have a monthly store fee, right? You don't have to pay for promotions. I mean, I guess you can't promote your show, but you're not paying promotion fees on individual cards.
Right.
That's not something you necessarily need to do to be competitive. Yeah, there's just a lot of, you don't have to use Card Dealer Pro. So, I mean, add all those expenses up, that's some pretty real money too. Over a month.
Yeah.
So I would love to eliminate one of those Card Dealer Pros. I would love to eliminate one of the stores. Go back to sort of a jack of all trades, buy it now store with non-sport and sport. Close down the second store. So that's my other kind of not rush to get more listings into my sports store, because as those kind of weed out, I can just dump the card dealer, the second Card Dealer Pro, and kill all the inventory out of that and close that shop up.
Okay.
So that's what I don't know. Those are potential future plans. I'm not saying for sure that's going to happen. The non-sport store is doing very well, so it grows faster than it did the sports store, which is kind of crazy as far as like sales and profit.
Well, I think there's a bigger opportunity there. Not as many sellers.
Yeah. So I mean, I might even do the exact opposite. I might just sell everything out of the sports store, shut that one down, and keep the non-sports store as my buy it now, and then just only do sports with live selling or throw a few sports that are
Yeah.
more appropriate, buy it now in the non-sports store. So I've got a few different avenues that I can take, but just trying to reduce some of those expenses, did taxes not too long ago, and I'm like, man, I spent a lot of money this year on like 2 eBay stores and Car Dealer Pro and Collects. I mean, that has an annual fee, and then you got
Yeah.
pay for extra list scans, and it's like, man, that's a couple $1,000 a year that I could really cut out if
Mm-hmm.
if I found a better avenue to do it with less fees anyway. So
Right.
so there's a lot of motivation there to reorganize and modernize my business to the way things are now.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Running a successful business is not getting stuck where you're at. You got to constantly be able to make those adjustments, right? What does AT&T sell now?
Well, do they even have that brand name anymore?
They do.
They do. I don't even know anymore.
They
Thought
sell
they
cell phones,
diversified everything.
cell phones and cellular service. Do they still sell home phones?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
They don't sell home phones anymore because there's no money in it. So they were like, well, if everybody's going to buy a portable phone, we'll just start making deals with China and getting iPhones and sell those instead.
Right.
I mean, that makes sense, right? So
Can
we're not
you
changing our
even buy
products.
a home phone anymore?
I don't know. Probably. They're probably like stupid expensive even.
I don't remember the last time I saw one.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you could go to Walmart and buy. Well, maybe Walmart, maybe in some of the more budget areas, if you will, but
Yeah.
definitely not like Best Buy or something like that. I mean, you would,
Right.
and I mean, you might even just have to buy a used one. I don't know. There's still older people that have home phones and stuff, I'm sure. So, but I think most of the home phone service is done through Spectrum. I don't think there is home phone carriers like service providers.
I don't know because I haven't used mine in over a
Right.
decade. Yeah.
Because I know, like, Spectrum does your bundle, right? You get your phone
Yeah.
and your cable and because they're appealing to like old people generally.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody really has Spectrum anymore either if you don't have to.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my take on my current experiences, and I'm having a lot of fun. It's good, but it's taking more time right now because now I'm trying to adjust some things. The eBay is kind of just sitting there and I just do the business of it. That used to take up all my extra time listing and that kind of thing. I haven't even touched the scanner in probably a week.
Yeah.
Because I'm just letting that's just running and doing its thing, other than the freaking Car Dealer Pro crap I had to deal with. But then eBay outages. Then,
Yeah.
now I'm trying to log into my eBay and I can't log in because that's timed out. And eBay goes down during one of our auctions. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like Whatnot just got a better handle on, technology today. Today's proud, and I think they make a better presence at the National than eBay does.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't know. They have their negative sides. You've got your backyard breaks, hoopla kids, and that kind of stuff. But par for the course.
Yeah. Yeah. Thinking about that, I don't know that I've heard much about any Whatnot technical issues yet.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're they don't quite have the action that eBay has. I would say probably. They're running a lot of video that can be daunting.
Yeah.
On your systems and stuff, but I think they have a better handle on what needs to happen versus eBay is still like, well, we have to make money for our shareholder company, right? Like they don't really care about the sellers and the buyers. It's, well, maybe we could cut a few servers and that would save $20 for our shareholders. And if there's an outage, who cares? The shareholder still gets paid. So I don't know. kind of an old school thought, and just got disgruntled too with the eBay Live stuff. Like, there's no reason that I shouldn't be, have been on there well before this time, and why should I have to keep proving to them that I
I
can
feel
be
like
on there
you're
or
gonna
something?
tell them to get off your lawn pretty soon.
No, I'm just saying, like, why sit around and wait for them, right? Like, I don't need
Yeah.
to do that. I
Oh,
have
absolutely
to
not.
take, just like I said with the home phones versus cell phones. I can't sit around and go, oh, I still want my home phone. Like, no, I have to go to the cell phone, or device. They don't even call them cell phones anymore because nobody uses the phone, including me.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm kind of like, you know what? Whatnot is a great place to be. I just got to figure out how I need to work with it, and what kind of new customer base I'm going to build there. And I've got that, so I don't see any reason to shake that tree and look for an opportunity anywhere else. Now that eBay is open, Live is open, like, your results are going to be about the same there as they would be on Whatnot.
I would expect so.
Yeah. So why try to make a quick flash to another platform? Doesn't really
Yeah.
it doesn't really make any sense to me. And I have strong buy it now sales on Whatnot too. Less fees, and the buyer pays the shipping.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it just there's a lot more margin in it for the same sales price. I get to keep a lot more of it.
I'm kind of interested to see
Their
what
tracking
kind of
system, by the way, is a lot better too.
the what
Their
tracking system?
tracking, their mail tracking, and the expectations they give to the customers are a lot more realistic. So you're not dealing with that crap all the time. So a lot more pluses are moving in that column than there are in the eBay column.
Kind of interested in seeing what
Mhm.
kind of presence their static marketplace at Whatnot gets at the national.
Me too. Yeah.
Because I don't feel like there was a lot last year, but I feel like they've worked harder at building up
A
their
lot of
static
ads. They
marketplaces.
do a lot of like marketing ads and stuff
Yeah.
for
Mm-hmm.
their static sales. I plan to spend a decent chunk of time one day with Whatnot.
Yeah.
You and Ethan probably won't want to be around me because it's going to be a lot of conversation, and that's not that interesting. But I have very big questions on why can't we do standard envelope on Buy It Now? It makes zero sense. You already have it
Mm-hmm.
set up. Just offer that as a shipping option. That's number one on my list. And then, yeah, kind of, what do you want your place to be on Buy It Now? Is that something you just want to have be an avenue so that people then feed it into their shows, or like what's the goal here? Are you gonna, do you want to host stores? That's the other thing that's a really good deal with Whatnot. I can list as many cards on there as I want for nothing. eBay charges me $60 a month and limits how many I can put in there.
Yeah.
So I had to open a second store and get another Car Dealer Pro. And like, the only reason I did really had to do any of that was because of those yahoos. So, yeah, but Whatnot scores a lot of positive points for me at this point, and I enjoyed them at the show last year. I love the custom jersey idea. It was amazing. They had a lot of presence out on the show floor. eBay Live. We went to the eBay booth and the eBay Live booth, which, by the way, you can't sell on. But here's eBay Live. Let me tell you about it. You should sell on eBay Live. I tried. Go away. I don't want to talk to you. They had their little like weird video scavenger hunty thing where then you shot a basketball at the end. Like,
Yeah.
it was stupid. Like they don't get it. They're still stuck in like 1998 eBay,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just really feeling the more modern flavor, and the yellow and black is dope. I mean, Whatnot's got the color scheme down. So
Who are you?
not only did they do the jerseys, but they did these sweet custom cards that were free, by the way. These were free. You had to pay for
Yeah.
the jersey, but they were what, $20 or something?
Yeah, they weren't bad at
Something
all.
stupid cheap. You can download your digital card. So anybody wants a digital version of my card, you're welcome to it. Scan that sucker right there. But they've just really become the big player, I think, in the space. And as more and more people are going there to shop live, you're going to get more buy it now buying too. It's just natural.
You would expect to see that, yeah.
Yeah, and think about it, right? So, like, let's say you like the live show, the live action, and so you're getting into a couple of streams. You're looking for a couple different cards, couple different players, or whatever. And you don't find it in a stream, right? And you're like, well, I really want this. I really want a Joe Montana card. Now you can just kind of search on there and find it in a buy it now. You don't have to go to eBay.
Yeah.
Right? You can sort of do that all in one place. I get it. eBay has live too, but it's not the same. The Whatnot is the rush and yeah. So anyway,
The thing depressing the Whatnot buy it now market is just that lack of a PWE offer. Like, so you're paying $5 for $1 card a lot of times.
I just did a new feedback form with them. I do one like every 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
And I'm like, give us freaking standard envelope for our buy it now cards. Like, I don't get it. We put the weight in there. We put our shipping. We create our shipping policy. To use envelope if it's under, what is it, 4 ounces? Yeah, under 4 ounces and under $20. And then boom, it shows up as ground advantage every card that you sell. So it's crazy stupid how many cards. I saw a lot of cards on Whatnot, $2 cards that ship for $5.
Yeah.
Imagine how many you could sell if like people didn't have to pay that stupid amount. So yeah, I'm gonna ask one guy when he says, oh, I don't know. Then I'm gonna go ask another guy. When he says I don't know, then I'm gonna go ask another guy. I'm not letting this one go. I'm putting some time in on this at the National because it's that important. Just like Card Dealer Pro, we pressed them pretty hard last year, and we really got results out of it. I was at that booth 3 days out of the 5 for something, and we got most of our problems solved. Now they created a lot of problems since then. But to be fair, Card Dealer Pro also does not have the structure of Whatnot. Okay, so like that is still a fledgling company coming to age, and this is Whatnot, right? Like that already has an envelope program and just won't launch it and buy it now for whatever reason. I would like to hear a legitimate reason at some point in that week.
Yeah.
And I don't think I get it after I ask all 20 people that work there, so we'll see. But I'm working for all of you other sellers who want to sell on Whatnot and are like, why the hell are they charging me $5 shipping? And not me, but by my buyer, $5 shipping for this. Because it looks bad on our side. Like
it does. Yeah.
I try to give extra packaging, right? So I put it in a top load, I put it in a team bag, I put it in a padded envelope. I'm like, well, if they're paying $5, I'm not putting it in an envelope. But what a waste, I literally sold a 1997 Pokemon. What was it? One of those little blue birds. I can't remember what the name of the character is. But it was one Pokemon card for $1.99 on Whatnot.
Yeah.
That is like the smallest piece of cardboard you could ship. And I put it in a top load and a baggie and a padded envelope. It's super, super stupid overkill.
Yeah.
But it's the best I can do. That's all I don't have another option. So
now I also remember, if I'm not mistaken, during the CDP town hall, I think one of the enhancements that will be coming soon is separate pricing by platform. And then you could, potentially, because of the extra shipping and the decreased fees and stuff like that, you could list a $1.99 card at the same time by listing it at $1 on Whatnot,
Yeah, well, some of mine did that because Card Dealer Pro dropped the damn 99 cents on the first listing.
That was early on. But that
was time. I had 40,000 listings that went in that way.
Well, why didn't you go fix them?
Because I'm just trying to build sales on Whatnot, and I don't pay the shipping, so what do I care? So I get a buck out of the stupid card.
That was the way I looked at it too. Like, I'm saving on the shipping and the fees, so I'm okay with it rounding down to $1.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just left them. It's whatever. And still most of my sales are going to come from eBay anyway, but especially at that shipping rate. The shipping rate changes, I'd be more likely to go in and adjust my prices then, because customer could pay more if they're only paying the 74 cents for the shipping or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But
should we say hello
all right.
to a little chat? We're an
Yeah,
hour
I was
in.
gonna say we're an hour in. We've ignored our audience.
You've been ranting like old man Withers about, eBay Live being stupid and eBay limiting their listings. And
so, Carly, this show is an opinion piece, and it's my show and my channel, so I'm going to give my opinion. No, you don't have experience on one, so you can't really give your opinion on it as much right now. But trust me, you're going to come up with a lot of things to say too when you get there.
Probably.
I'll have you talk to chat, and I'm going to eat some peanut butter cinnamon roll M&Ms.
Avs Rule is here tonight. Good evening on Toronto Sports Card Expo Eve.
Wow.
Are we taking a road trip tomorrow, Adam? We're going to Toronto?
Get some hockey cards, eh?
Get some Tim Hortons?
Take some roundabouts?
Yes.
And eat some Kraft dinner?
So good luck at the Toronto Sports Card Expo. I hear that's a good show. We hear about that occasionally down here. But sounds like it's a good time.
Agreed.
Designated Heckler is here. Hobby or no ish.
Mm-hmm. Did you like that?
So
I like that.
For example, buy it now, live auction, or traditional auction?
Buy it now.
I would agree. Buy it now.
Unless I was doing a Dodgers show.
Yep, agreed.
Then I
If
would
it was the right
throw it in.
theme, it might go into a live to build some stackability. But on its own, I think that's a searcher. Someone's searching for Tommy Lasorda or Dodgers. And that one goes buy it now. Really nothing catches the eye on those either, right?
Not shiny, right? Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Johnny M says, evening guys, I've profited over $1,400 in the last 6 weeks selling 90% JWE stuff. That's one of the things I like the best about Whatnot is that I'm not forced to take my funds out like I am on eBay.
That's true. That can be nice.
Okay.
By the way, you have to hit 1,000 sales on Whatnot before you can get paid instantly.
Yeah.
I'm at 862. So next live show or two, I should be over that 1,000, and I can take my money out whenever I want.
So I want to go back to Johnny here talking about junk wax era stuff. Now we've been talking about, hey, ideal stuff for lives is shiny, instant story, gets a reaction. That doesn't rule out everything else. Now, Johnny, he's probably built up a return audience specifically seeking out junk wax era stuff.
He's actually kind of hit the nail on the head. Junk wax era stuff is super hot and live. I've sold quite a bit of it too. Yeah. And actually,
resurgence, if you will.
There's actually a decent amount of it in my Josh Allen show because I've got a bunch of like 90s bills that I'm putting in there. It's like 1993 Stadium Club Bruce Smith, right? That kind of stuff. 1990 Score Jim Kelly. That stuff, it goes, and there, you even get some bidding wars out of some of that stuff. Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco stuff, things that you don't sell much of in the eBay store, tend to do well in the live shows.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's got to be guys our age buying on Whatnot. That's got to be it, because that's like our stuff, right? Junk wax.
It is.
Or the kids see it as vintage. I don't know.
Vintage, yeah. Let's see here. Up next says, hey, hope everyone is doing great and making sales. Not sure if you mentioned it yet. If you're all going to be starting at eBay Live now that it's opening up more. And he acknowledges a couple messages down that he heard us talking about it, so he knows the answer to that. But I still wanted to give him a shout out and say good evening to you.
I agree.
Keep the sales rolling, right?
You.
Bill Siamis. Bill Siamis. I forget now, Bill. You're gonna have to remind us again. So no more TCG store, Adam? Yeah, that was something you were talking about opening up.
Yeah, because I was trying to find a way to, continue expanding my business, but now I probably just do the TCG and live selling. Most of the Pokemon stuff runs through live at this point as it is. And if I can get enough velocity and make enough money out of doing just the sports and the non-sport, I'm fine, not being in the TCG game that much too. I also have a TCG player account, so I might even just throw my stuff on there because you don't have to add the photos and all that. And then we become what do they call it, preferred seller or something on there. Then at that point, you can actually just send the cards to them and they just fill all the orders for you. You're basically replenishing the cards that they're sending out to customers.
Yeah.
So trust me, obviously I've looked into this. It is not totally off the table, but a third eBay store for another $60 a month and all the other things that come with it, another Car Dealer Pro account, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense in my current future plan.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm going with Bill Simus. I remember in chat one day he told us exactly how to say it, and I remember Psy was emphasized in there.
That's how I remember it as Simus, but it was more fun to watch you trip through it, so I just let it happen.
How about this Cooperstown Steve Carlton Blue Crystal out of $4.99? Live selling, traditional auction, or buy it now?
Well, that's numbered too, right?
Yep, on $4.99.
I'm going to say that's a great live selling card.
That's what I would think too.
I'm putting a caveat on it. It has to go in the right theme. I think a Hall of Fame baseball show would be amazing, and he would be great for that.
I also think there's a relatively low ceiling on it on this particular card too, but I think it would sell.
I agree, and you could get a couple people that really think it's cool and it's numbered, and
And Steve Carlton's a name that still is known. Yeah.
I'd probably try that in live. You could definitely sell. I have a bunch of those cards too.
Yeah.
And they sell in buy it now on eBay too, but not like instantly. So
right.
You might be able to move it pretty quick versus letting it sit in the store until you find that buyer.
Agreed.
It's also the one of the things I consider when I'm going to put it in a live is I start all my items at $2. So if it's a item I paid $10 for, I really want to make sure that for the most part that I believe I could get the bids to that $10.
That is a good point. Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't make a lot of sense to do that. Now, if you paid 25 cents for that, why not list it in live? You're going to make a profit. Right. All you need is one bid. You don't even need competition.
Right. Wolfie Joe's here. He says, Adam, don't give Whatnot ideas about charging for buy it now listings.
Yeah. So, kind of funny you mentioned that because I did talk to somebody at Whatnot a while ago on one of those feedback survey things that I did. And they said, no, they would never charge for that because all it does is make them money if they sell. Like they're already paying for the storage space and everything.
They would never charge for that.
Okay. Right. Yeah, that's why I said, And this was my I'm not totally on Whatnot's page at this point face at that time too.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I would think at some point what they'll do is they'll have like a plan, right? Kind of like eBay does. You'd pay for, this plan, and then you can have live and fixed listings or something like that. I don't know. I can tell you right now, if they said, "Oh, we're going to charge for fixed listings," I ain't paying unless they fix the envelope shipping.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. Like that's a must right there.
Yep.
All right. What about this? This is I think it's a 95 Pinnacle Ozzie Smith.
Ozzy actually does pretty well in live selling,
Mm-hmm.
but I still think I'm going to go buy it now. Unless you were doing unless you had a hot 90s crowd.
Yeah. And I might try this in a live. You got the nice gold foil. He's doing his iconic flip, which tells a story immediately.
It does look nice on camera. I would agree with that.
Would it sell in my Buy It Now store? Absolutely. In fact, I just sold one last week. But I think this would have potential in a live as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. That one's it has to fit in a show though.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing like ultra modern baseball singles, like that's not, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I think that's true of just about every stream you put on. Like we talked about having a theme.
Yeah, I just think like you could put Ohtani in a generic baseball singles show. I don't know if you could put that Ozzie Smith card in a generic baseball singles show. You know what I'm saying? Like some cards would have enough to go and some wouldn't.
Maybe not. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. Everybody knows. Any baseball fan knows who Ozzie Smith is. What is he most known for? Doing those flips, right?
One of my motivations for putting that in a live show is he does not sell that well for me on Buy It Now.
No?
Mm-mm. And I know he sells well on live. I've watched way too many shows at this point now.
Sure. Yeah.
And I've seen his stuff do pretty well. So I'm like, that's odd. Okay. Like I mean, I sell stuff out of the store, of course, but he's not like super hot seller for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
He's not an Ohtani seller.
Try it. That's where it comes back to what I said earlier. Where I'll try it in the middle of a baseball show. If I get a hit, great, it's gone. If not, it goes in my stack and I scan it in.
Yeah, for sure. Up next, this is where he says, scratch that question. You just answered it. The PWE on Whatnot, though, I wonder if they're going to try and keep sellers from listing a ton of super low end to push for higher dollar listings in Buy It Now.
Well, it's not working because my listings are not that, and they're still selling. So you're just kind of hurting the customer, in my opinion. You're overcharging them for the shipping. Like, why is that acceptable? Right. I don't get that.
Well, it's a better shipping service. You're not necessarily overcharging them. You're just forcing them into a better service.
Right. Give them the option. Let them choose envelope or let them choose package, if that's what they want to do. But and you could be right. They might be like, well, we don't want to do this and maybe that's the answer I'll get when I talk to like a Whatnot person who actually knows what's going on. We'll see. And then I'll have to accept that answer, and that's fine. I'll just get a few smaller sales because I sell smaller dollar cards, but I don't know that that's a super viable reason. I mean, I guess because they get commission based on the sale, but they still get commission if you sell a small card. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
The only thing would be is if it was some sort of a storage issue, like they just can't house that many listings, and I don't. That doesn't seem to be something that's been a topic. So I don't know.
Yep. Susie made it. She says, "Good day, y'all. Sorry I'm late. Good day from Australia."
Hello, mate.
Aussie, oi, oi, oi. Got to get that in. She says, Adam, did you get some more listings with eBay?
No. She replied to me and told me to contact
Pound Sand.
Basically. She sent me like a link or whatever to go in and like ask for a listing increase. But what she sent me was the one where it's like when you have a limited amount of listings you can do, like when you're a new seller.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I don't need that. I just want more under my store plan. Like I can sell my $6 billion or whatever those ridiculous numbers are that they give me now. Mm-hmm. You can list up to 3 million items and sell $6 billion worth or something like that. I'm like, I don't need that. I just want, more listings. I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm just kind of at this point I'm just kind of leaving eBay where it is and taking my income off of that and putting some listings on when I got some space, and I'm just sort of leaving that alone. That fish is already fried. And I'm really focusing on the lives and building that area and working on thumbnails and creating a customer experience there and selling more cards faster.
There you go.
If I can still get my few $100 a day out of my eBay sales and then, supplement that with like another few $100 on the Whatnot sales, I'm good with that.
There you go.
That would get me through for the day.
How about this 2025 Topps PCA Future Stars?
I mean, he's a Cub, so there's that big buying audience. He hit a 2-run home run today, by the way, and the Cubs won. Just in case you didn't know that.
I didn't.
It's not a rookie; it's a second-year card. Yep. I think if you were like running a Cubs show or an ultra modern, young talent show type of thing, you could probably throw it in there. But otherwise, I'm going to lean more towards buy it now.
I would too. If I were to put this in a live, it would have to be in a direct theme, built upon the Cubs, where you've got some PCA rookies in there and some other early cards of modern Cubs stars. But he's cooled off quite a bit. He doesn't have the same pop he had last year.
Yeah.
And that's not a rare card at all. So just not enough there to really do much in a live on its own merit.
If it was a rookie, my attitude would change.
Yeah.
Or a prospect card.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I got one. Can I do one?
Sure.
A 20 stripe wild card, Chris Miller, quarterback of the Falcons.
Yeah.
Here's the back.
For me, I would say that's a searcher. That's a buy it now collector looking for the wild card stripes. Chris Miller is not a name. Most people today in football probably don't even remember him. But there are the wild card stripe collectors.
Yeah, I think if you did like a wild card stripe show, it would be an obvious entry because it's a wild card stripe.
Yeah.
What's funny is sometimes, like I said, I always have a stack of cards here, and somebody will be like, "You got any Falcons cards?" I'd be like, "Oh, I got this one," and I put it up, and then you get like 4 bids on it. It's like,
right.
That wouldn't have sold if I'd have just put it in the show. Somebody told me not too long ago, I was trying to get a better feel for how to have a successful show, and they said, "Don't take requests." And I said, "Oh, okay," because you want the show to keep moving, right? You don't want to just appeal to one buyer that's in your room and try to pull things for them. But I found great success in pulling requests because it's stuff that I wouldn't like normally be able to sell, like that Jim Kelly Collector's Choice base card.
Okay.
That probably sit in my store for 3 years. But somebody said, "Anybody got any bills?" I'm like, "Sure, I got this Jim Kelly." It took 10 seconds. I got one bid on it, and it went in a pile with other stuff this guy bought. We moved right back on to the normal cards that were in the show.
Now, when he asked for it, did you know he already bought a bunch of other cards, or was this his first card?
He had bought a few. It was kind of towards the beginning of the show, but he had bought a few already, and then he said, "Well, you got any bills?" And I said, "Yep, I got this one." And then he bought a bunch more after that.
Yeah. So would that change it for you if this guy had not bought anything and just randomly in the middle of the stream said, "Hey, you got any Bills cards?" Would you have still felt the same urge to go say, "Oh yeah, I got some over here. Let me dig them out for you"?
All
right. You should probably come back, Adam. What did you do?
I don't know. I hit the little logo thing and it made me go away. If I knew it was just like a simple flip and grab and it was going to take 10 seconds, yeah, I would. If I can get a sale, I'm going to get a sale. There are plenty of cards you put up in a show that aren't going to sell too, in a lot of cases. So It didn't really kill my stream. People didn't leave because I put up a Jim Kelly card. No, if I had just put up like 10 Jim Kelly cards in a row, might have started to lose some of my audience. I'd have been like, well, I was here for Mahomes and Brady. What the hell are all the Jim Kelly cards for?
Yeah.
But to throw a little favor in here or there, and I'm also still trying to gain followers and customers. So maybe by making that action and quick selling that Jim Kelly card, which by the way, I wouldn't have sold, most likely outside of that for a while.
Probably not.
It really benefited kind of everybody. That's why I think it's also important to do super short auctions. I do 10 seconds. I don't do sudden death anymore. I learned that was not a grid play.
No?
Nope. So not for my shows. So I do 10 seconds and 10 seconds. You go, oh yeah, sure. Here, I got this one right here. And running. Hey, John, thanks for the bid. It's yours. Great. Now let's move back to here's the next, Mahomes card. Like it doesn't really, if you know what you're doing, if you can host well, if you're going to struggle with that and struggle with like getting off track and then trying to get back on track, I wouldn't do that then. Because you could kill your whole stream off of, one incident like that.
Yeah.
Or at least temporarily anyway. But I can easily kind of move between those places and it wasn't a big deal. I didn't have anybody leave the room over it, if that's what you're asking.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, if I was like, oh, I have 600 cards here and there's a Jim Kelly in here somewhere, and remember how we talked earlier and I said, you go into a stream and it's just a blank screen or just a picture of some random dude in a whatnot jersey. No, that you can't do that. So it has to be like, oh yeah, I remember seeing a Jim Kelly. Oh, here, it's right here. Okay. Then that's fine. But yeah, if you're going to spend the breadth of your show looking for this stupid card, that's probably not a great move.
No, especially not as a one-person show. Now, if you have someone helping, you can let them go dig and you can keep doing other stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Susie says, oi, oi, oi. Thank you, Suze. Up next says, I would agree that it isn't working. I sold a $1 score rookie, buy it now a couple days ago. Asked the buyer if they'd want to try and find something else to add to bundle up, but they only wanted the one. So they paid $5 for a $1 card.
Yeah, I don't get it. Makes no sense to me, but I guess I guess if you have a lot of money, you don't really have to watch your money. Maybe that's sort of the lesson here, but
yeah. I would say this. A lot of streams charge a $4.99 minimum to ship anyway.
They do.
And maybe whatnot buyers are kind of conditioned to be like, I'm just going to pay $5 shipping no matter what I do.
But for a $1 card, like it just doesn't make a lot of sense in my head. Like you could get that. I don't know.
There are people that do it in streams too. They buy one card in that stream.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. I've had that too. But they only pay 74 cents shipping too, though.
That's for you. There's a lot of them that don't offer plain white envelope. They're shipping ground advantage. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting.
Like I won't do that. If I make a purchase in a stream that's charging $4.99 or more,
right? You buy multiple cards.
Yeah, I'm watching for a while to say, okay, I can build a stack in this stream. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, same.
Dan's here. He says, "What's up, all? When is the next GOAT show?" Well,
that's a perfect segue.
You ask. I might be able to help you with that question.
Good job, Dan.
The next GOAT show is Sunday, June 28th, 2026 at the historic Riverside Ballroom in Green Bay, Wisconsin from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Adam, what kind of charities and prizes will we have at that show?
Well, Charlie, the top prize will be a Paul Hornung autographed, authenticated jersey donated by one of our amazing viewers of this channel, as well as the Discord, which, by the way, the link is running across the bottom there. That'll be the top prize. Of course, we have additional items to give away in the drawing. We also have free items for the kids, like we do every show. The chair. I don't think we've announced the charity yet, did we?
I don't think we did.
We're still
Actually,
working on that one. Yeah, that one got kind of weird. So we're in the middle of that, but we will of course have a charity. So we'll be collecting some sort of items or $1 donations to that charity. We will have BB Sports Breaks there. They'll be breaking live on our stage as usual with the monitor, and any big hits happen, you'll get to hear the roar of the crowd, and you can enter the break if you want, or you can just simply come and watch it and be entertained.
yeah.
Free admission, free parking, all those good things. ATM on site. We of course will have our hide a goat game. We've got a dozen goats or so. We've got a couple of gold ones to give you some extra money.
Goldie.
Goldie. So you find one of those goats, bring it up to our front table. They'll give you some money to spend at the show. What a deal. I think that's about it. Menu will be good as always. Of course, we do not know what it is. That's part of the fun of the show. The marquee will be turned on a couple weeks ahead, so we'll have plenty of traffic going down the main street there to see that the show is happening. I just turned on our promotional ad with Facebook yesterday. That's always a fun event every show. Got that going. So yeah, we're in full swing of promoting the next show and get some flyers out to some places, and we're expecting a huge turnout yet again.
Never too early to promote.
Left too.
Back into the chat, I skipped over one from our friend Johnny M. I missed it. Johnny says, I plan on selling on eBay Live if I get on and whatnot. If I don't sell on whatnot, it will go to eBay Live the next day. Different audiences, so you never know.
That's not a bad plan.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah, it's kind of like my plan. Only I'm going to scan it into my store. You're just taking it, to another live audience essentially. But yeah, it's a good idea.
Up next agrees too. He says, I do like that idea, Johnny. You definitely be able to reach a wide range of unique buyers that way.
You're trying to build audiences on two different platforms too, though. So you do kind of have to work a little bit harder, I guess, to sort of get to the same tower. But
right.
But you're right. You could end up with a totally different audience.
Yeah. And Dan says, if it's a $4.99 shipping, then I wait to win a Givey. Gotta get that Givey. You got to remember to put those out there, Adam.
I will be doing giveaways on my live shows. Yes.
Giveaways? You're going to do Giveys.
I'm going to be doing giveaways.
You're going to advertise Giveys like everybody else. How about this 2022 Mojo Sal Perez?
Live stream. He's a pretty popular player in the league, home run hitter. I like the gold Mojo. It really snaps. It's the 1987 Topps, wood border design, which hits with that junk wax era buyers. So I think I would try it on there, especially if you're looking for a $2 bid. It's easily, worth that.
Yeah, I agree.
To a lot of people.
You probably wouldn't have much invested in this. So, yeah, I think that's a good one. This one's a little trickier one. What about this? Let me see what year this is. This is an Upper Deck SPX 2001 Brandon Duckworth jersey auto.
Oh gosh, I don't know why you buy these cards.
I don't even know where I got this or how I got it. Well, I know what I did. This is probably at the National in a dollar box of autos and mem cards.
Yeah, it could be.
Where I just grabbed everything.
I think that's a search card.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, other than the autos and patch buyers who are like jumping streams to try to get that stuff cheap, but
yeah, I honestly don't think either lane is great.
Yeah,
but I would probably try my luck in a live because I don't think anyone's searching for Brandon Duckworth.
I saw so much of that like Because when you can get autos for 50 cents and stuff, I'll buy them, even if they're like press pass or whatever.
Yeah.
And people buy that stuff, out of the store. They
Yeah.
just don't know that you're going to get a Duckworth buyer, in a live stream. But here's the beauty of it: you put it in the live stream. If it doesn't sell, then you put it in the store.
Or,
That's
or it would make a Givey card.
You could give that card away. That is accurate.
Dan says, I say that's a live card when someone says run an auto.
That's exactly what I was talking about. That's funny. Because that's what you get. Like when you run enough streams, you'll get got any autos or patches, and then you'll be like, sure, I got this one.
Yeah.
The other thing is, here's the other thing about requests, okay? You have to remember there's an emotional event going on when you're doing live selling, right? That's why you end up getting bids over the price of cards and things like that.
Yeah.
When somebody asks you, do you have any Jim Kelly cards? And you take a second out of your stream and to find it, pull a card and you say, yeah, I got a Jim Kelly card. They have to bid on that card.
Yeah.
Because now they look like a jerk in the chat if they're like, oh, I guess you didn't want the Jim Kelly card.
I mean, they don't have to, but they would feel pressure to.
Even if it's not a great card, you have pretty good odds that you're going to get that at least that base bid on that card.
Yeah.
But it's almost, unless you got something like totally off base that they don't need, it's almost a guaranteed sale.
Yeah. How about this 2021 Panini Babe Ruth, the Sultan of SWAT?
I'd put that in a live stream because everybody knows Babe Ruth and his cards go for more than they should just because of who he is.
The Great Bambino.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was kind of leaning towards buy it now. Like that's a search card. People are searching for Babe Ruth still to this day.
He's too big a name to just throw in a box. You could end up with, $5-6 on bids out of that thing.
I also feel like these Panini cards are lame.
They are. They're terrible.
I wouldn't buy it in a live.
Yeah.
Like I'd be like, that's boring.
If I was including that in a live, it would be like a Yankee show or a Hall of Fame show or a Slugger show or big name baseball show or something like that. I would put it in a live and try it. Why not? Doesn't sell, I'd throw it in the store.
The ball was signed by some lady named like Ruth or something.
No, the best line in that movie, I was just talking about this the other day when they're like, the Sultan of SWAT, he goes through the whole thing and he goes, I know, you guys keep saying that, but who is she? And they're like, yeah, it's great. It's a great line. That's such a good movie.
It is. I never get tired of watching it, and now I get to watch it with my kids sometimes too and enjoy it all over again.
Yeah. And the dog, I mean, it's just gold. James Earl Jones is in it. I mean, what else do you need?
I've been trying to get a card of the Beast, and I've been trying to get more of like a numbered one, but I haven't been able to find the right deal. Like they're either I can't find it or it's overpriced. Susie says, what do you think of Topps Chrome football? Is it too expensive? Oh, it's too expensive for me to buy. The value box is $119 Australian, and mega box is $199. The bigger box is $1,400 to $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think of them? You haven't bought any yet, have you?
No, I'm not going to buy any of that.
Yeah.
If I find it at like a box at Target or something, yeah, I'll buy it. But no, I don't pay those inflated prices for sealed product where you're not going to you don't get the value out of it when you buy it at retail.
Yeah.
And I know that set's hot right now and all that, but those prices are all going to come down, and
they are.
Other sets will come out. Also, the rookie class stinks.
Yeah.
So it's not like the Topps Chrome basketball where you have, Pineapple and Flag and stuff like that. Like, nah, I won't be buying any of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't either. I would I maybe get a blaster when it's out in the retail stores? Probably. I might get blasters.
I will definitely buy some if I can get it at
just
retail.
To have some new product in the store. But mostly what I'm looking for is when those singles filter down to the boxes at shows.
Dang. Yeah, the Nationals are going to be jacked this year with
Yeah.
because they're going to buy so much of that and rip so much of that. You also have to remember that that's not a short produced product. They printed a ton of it.
Right.
So why are you paying $119 for a retail? What is that, like a fat pack or whatever? A hanger? Because the megas are the $199.
Value box blaster.
Oh, the blaster. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
$119 for a blaster? Are you crazy?
Well, I mean, that's Australian, so that you got to figure the exchange rate.
Oh, I don't know what that is. But
I don't know what it is either. But either way, I'm sure it's going to be $30 for us.
Right.
Yeah. So
maybe 40. Because some of those blasters have crept up a little bit.
Yeah. How about a Topps paper 2025 Paul Skeens Rookie Cup? Live, static, or traditional auction?
Yeah, I would go live on that. Rookie Cup has a following. You've got that 1990 Topps design, so you got the chunk wax look there. Paul Skeens is Paul Skeens. Big name on the sale circuit, and I'd give it a shot. Again, I could list it in the store and sell it pretty quick too. So
seeing that, for me, I feel like people are looking for these on the marketplace pretty regularly.
Right.
I'd probably go there first. Yeah,
I think on that one,
if it fit a theme I was doing, I'd probably throw it in alive.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to say. I feel like on that one, you kind of can't go wrong either way because he's just that popular. There's just enough people looking for him that like you could probably sell it either way.
That's very true.
But you could catch fire in a live auction on that too if you get a couple of bidders. You could end up getting more money.
But the way I look at live selling is I plan for the floor, not the ceiling.
Right, but it could give you the opportunity. Because what are you going to list that card for and buy it now?
I might list that at $2.99.
So why not start it at $2 on a live and see if you get a couple of bidders and hit $5 on it?
Yeah.
See, that's where I've had to change my train of thought because I thought exactly like you do.
Yeah.
Right now. But what I'm learning is you have an opportunity to increase that ceiling in a live.
Yeah, I think you have to weigh what do I think is the most likely outcome? That I hit a hot room in a live sale, or I get more of a known comp on the static market.
I just don't think you have to hit a hot room when it's Paul Skeens because Paul Skeens sells.
It does, but I've seen a lot of Paul Skeens go for like it's 99 cents.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, I do all $2 starts, so I'm completely, covered versus that option. But I've seen plenty of just Rookie Cup. I saw a Topps Chrome Rookie Cup of his sell for $9.
Yeah,
I wouldn't price it for that in the store.
But it's
so
sporadic.
have the opportunity
That's the weird
for it to
thing.
go. It is. That's what I said. You don't know, but maybe that's and that's part of it too. If that's the first card you're running in a show, you have no clue what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But if you're 10 cards in and you're like, man, everybody's buying these like Rookie Cup cards, or I sold another Skeens card and it went high, I'm putting it in the live. If you see that the action is there.
Yeah.
He's just one of those players that has a lot of pump.
The other thing too, like we're talking about what's the most likely outcome there and having a good debate on that. But this goes back to 6-8 months ago when we were talking about live selling early on. You have to understand that not every card's going to be a winner. Like you are going to take some losses on cards. You're looking at the overall outcome versus a card by card basis.
And that's where, and agreed. And I'm thinking about that with this card too. So I have a $2 start, right? And you're right. If I put it in my store, it'd be $2.99, $3.99, something like that. Could it sell at $2? It absolutely could. And then I'm making less than what I would if I sold it at Buy It Now. But I also have a buyer now.
Yeah.
In that show. Right? So now I've got some Ohtani cards I bring out. I've got some, who's a hot rookie this year? Dalton Rushing or Lauder, or one of those dudes that's
Yeah.
juiced right now. Connor Griffin.
Connor Griffin, yeah.
Now maybe I would get some extra bids out of that guy because he'd already bought a card too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's good live material, being that it's Topps, it's Rookie Cup, it's the 1990 Topps design, and it's Paul Skeens.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like we said, I think that one could go either way and be successful. Lions Cards is here.
I also could put it in a live and just sell it and not have to scan it and list it and pay for the listing, and then put it in my store and bag it. And so there's something to be said there too. You've got extra labor versus I just grab it and throw it in my show.
Yep.
Take my $2.
Lions Card says, I arrived late to a clean-shaven Charlie jump scare. I'm not used to this. That's what my kids said too when they finally noticed it. Like, they never notice it the first time they see me. It's usually like the second or third time I walk through a room, and then they're like, whoa, what's going on? My oldest said, you're not my dad. You're not my dad.
I get threats all the time when I say, oh, I might shave. And no, I like the beard. I get so I just don't do it. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to throw this one up there for a minute. Is this 2025 or 2026? 2025, Topps Cosmic, Stars in the Night, Red Flare out of 5.
Yeah, dude. That's
what
live
lane
material.
Are we going?
That is live material.
You think that's live material?
Sure, why not? So, if you're in a high-end show.
Yeah. So,
because that's got to be expensive.
I was thinking
actually a static auction or eBay.
So that's what I was thinking. That's why I grabbed this, because we haven't really had good material for a static auction. Yeah, I think this might be best for a static auction because of the true scarcity. Not a ton of comps, on an out of 5. So best way to find out the true market is, a traditional auction.
Yeah. Did you pull that?
A friend of mine pulled this actually. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Boom Slang says, yo, sorry I'm late.
Yeah. We were late too. So it's all good.
We were, as always.
Yeah, we were, but even more, we were actually late from our late start today.
Yes, we were late.
Yeah. I got behind. I had a lot of orders to pull, and then I had stuff from the live sale this morning to ship. So
yeah,
it's kind of on me. But
I had the opposite today. I kind of attribute this mostly to the technical issues over the past 4 or 5 days. Mm-hmm. Today's the first time that I can remember that I am getting skunked on eBay. I don't have any sales on eBay today.
Really?
Yeah. I fortunately had a live face-to-face sale today to avoid being completely skunked. But yeah, I don't have a single sale. Okay. I did take some stuff out this morning. I can't remember if it was from last night or early this morning that it actually sold. Yeah. But yeah,
I've never had a skunk day.
I don't know when the last one was. It's been long enough now. Yeah.
Yeah, because you have enough stuff listed now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see more emphasis being put onto live sales. More and more audiences going to those platforms to do that. So it wouldn't surprise me at some point if the static sales we really start seeing some drop in it too. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
If I keep seeing stuff like I saw over this weekend where I went to look at something in my store to see what it looks like, and it showed my featured cards, and then below it said, this seller has no items in your area. And I was like, oh, that's not going to be great.
That sounds like an eBay thing. How neat.
Yeah.
Because eBay is so great,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really... Yeah, anyway, I already spoke my piece about all that.
I know you've got more to say. You just need an opportunity.
I'm good. It's getting late.
Lions Card says, speaking of box prices, I mentioned this in the Discord. Did you see how much first day issue Cosmic Chrome is going for? Absolute insanity, and you're not even guaranteed an auto.
I didn't, but I believe you. Cosmic Chrome is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just don't buy boxes. I don't see the draw to it.
Mhm.
I'm not a lottery ticket buyer, and that's kind of what buying sealed boxes are. So I just don't do any of it. I'll pick up a retail here or there to have something. I really enjoyed the Topps Chrome Deadpool, so I bought a box of that blaster box. By the way, that was $40.
Was it?
Yeah, so they've jacked the rates on the non-sport stuff too. Cool cards. I enjoyed it. Got some fun stuff out of it, and I spent my $40 and I'm good to go. I don't want to pay $1,500 for a hobby box, and
Yeah. I agree. That's not the lane I play in. Now, would I join in with 5 other guys and say, hey, let's get a case and split it
like a break or something?
Yeah, I might do that. That's actually how my buddy gets his Cosmic. He splits a case with other people. But yeah, I'm not that type of seller to go out there and spend $3,000 on a case or something. So
yeah.
Speaking of the rising prices of retail products too, though, like I've talked before about how when I did my taxes this year, I really looked closely at how much I spent on retail product last year, and I got a little out of control last year, right? I will tell you that the rise in retail prices has kind of helped me pretty much stay away from that now. Like I've gone through the shelves a couple of times in Target in the last couple of months and came home empty-handed because I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want to pay, $35-$40 for a blaster of that. It's not worth it unless, I had a specific need.
So it's funny you mentioned that because I was in Target yesterday, and they make a blaster pack of Optic now, or a booster pack of Optic. You know those cardboard ones that hang? Did you see those? $4, $4, right? So I'm like, huh, interesting. I got to try that, see if you get anything.
Yeah.
So I'll show you what I got. I bought one $4 pack. I got a Steven Jackson base card. I got a Dylan Gabriel Stars Prism rookie.
Okay.
So not terrible. Probably a couple bucks.
He's a Cleveland Brown, but
yeah, who knows? Maybe he'll be their new savior. We were just the Packers until Brett Favre came here.
Yeah.
Devonta Smith.
And
the Devon Achane. Is that how you pronounce it? Achane.
Devon Achane.
So basically, the way I look at it is, it's basically like a regular retail pack, right? So you're going to get 3 base, and then like a rookie or a parallel or an insert or something like that. I just thought it was interesting to do like a $4 pack.
Yeah.
Versus, because really most of the sets they haven't done pack sales of in a long time. They do the hanger pack or the fat packs,
Yeah.
But just a straight up a hobby box has 4-card packs in it. They haven't sold just a retail 4-card pack. Like when we were kids, you could just buy a pack off the counter.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and you can still buy those packs because there's cases and cases and cases.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was overproduced. I mean, there's argument that the stuff now is a little overproduced too, but
yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was a fun experiment. I'm gonna buy one and just see what it's $4. How can you really go wrong? It's Optic. It's a good brand.
That was my thought. I almost bought some too, just because it was Optic, but I didn't.
Yeah. So yeah, I grabbed one $4 pack. Basically, what I buy out of the store is non-sport. Yeah. So I bought Deadpool. I buy My Little Pony. I bought some Dragon Ball Z. I bought some. What's the other one? Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I look at. I bought some Neon. Yeah, I mean because you just don't see that stuff. Like I won't find that in value boxes. So I buy like retail boxes and then I can get some inventory for that.
Yeah.
And the resale's better on non-sport. It just is because you don't print as much of it and you don't have to get a quarterback or you have nothing type of pack. There's
Right.
lots of different cards sell. So,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's my take on the retail side, at least.
Yeah. Boomslang says, did I miss the whatnot question session?
Kinda. Yeah, kinda. Go back and watch the video from the beginning after
Yeah,
we're
we
done.
talked quite a bit about live selling tonight. That was probably 90% of our show.
Yeah, I couldn't get Charlie to stop talking about it. He just goes on and on and on.
Just like always, right?
About this freaking whatnot. And
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Dan says that out of 5, I would have that in the background of a stream as a buy it now. It attracts people as eye candy. Yeah. I see that a
good
lot.
idea.
They put their big cards in the background and then they're like, hey, again, people will go, hey, run that Bobby Witt card. And he's like, no, but it's available in my store. Make me an offer on it.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now you got me thinking.
Yep, that's when so you can kind of see behind me here, if I can get in frame, this little card stand back there. When I've set up for whatnot to just kind of do some trial shows, I put some cards back on the stands there in the background. So
okay.
That's my stadium seating.
I like having you guys around. It gives me some ideas.
Something tells me you're never short of ideas when you're even in a room by yourself, Adam.
The problem is my ideas argue with each other.
I know.
It's hard to get anything done.
Boomslang says, I had one sale today also, but it was a $5.99 1957 Bowman non-sports.
Non-sport for the win.
Okay. So a few people are down a little bit today. Boomslang says, Adam, I'll message you. Oh, look at that. Yeah,
Put that one in the background.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to find a buyer at the National for this.
My one of my sons, I forget if it was Creed or Caleb, but I had a Favre collector buy a bunch of Favre cards from me, and I had his Atlanta Falcons rookie card in there. And my son goes, when did Brett Favre play for the Falcons? He had no idea that he wasn't a Packer his whole life.
Crazy.
Anyway, Boomslang says, Adam, I'll message you.
I got an autographed Falcons jersey right there.
There you go. I'll message you about an AH that I use, and for the next 7 days, they have some non-sports cards and boxes up for auction. Auction House? Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, let me know.
Yeah.
I'd like to take a look.
Susie says the Disney boxes are so much better value. Yeah, I did see some Disney blasters in the local Target too. I picked one up and I put it down because that's what I do. I pick things up and I put them down.
Wax wise, non-sport hands down better value. Hands down.
Yeah.
And you can actually get hits out of them too.
Okay, so Susie says, me too, no sales on eBay yet. So I think something's going on with eBay today.
I don't know. I sold a whole bunch of stuff on eBay in both stores.
You're on a different server. You're on the Mr. Big server?
Finally, eBay did something in my favor.
So that catches us up in the chat. Is there anything else you want to talk about tonight?
No, I think I'm retired. I got to pull all these Josh Allen cards, so that's my project before I go to bed. So
yeah, I too would be willing to call it a night. Someone talked me out of retirement last night, and I went out and played rec league softball for the first time in 12 years. And I was worried about my knees and my hamstrings and my elbow. All of that was fine, but I did wreck my back, so that's fun.
Why would you try to do stuff?
Because
you're past the age of doing stuff.
Because I was asked by a close friend of mine, and when I asked them to do things over the years, they've always joined me in bad decisions. So I figured I owed them one.
Did you at least drink some beer to make it feel better?
So it is that kind of league where you crack
Mhm.
open a case after the game. It's 50 years old and up. 14-inch softball, slow pitch, of course. There's no sliding allowed in the on the base paths. You can overrun bases, and as long as you don't make the turn, you're free to come back. So it's definitely heavily modified for my age group now. But
Well, that's good.
yeah. So
Safety first.
luckily, I don't have to take the field again for a week. But as soon as we get off of here, I need to put some more icy hot on and get ready for bed.
All right, old man, you take it easy.
So we talked mostly about live selling tonight. We learned that we've got to think about different selling lanes, and that's not just how we sell them, but how we source them as well. Different cards, different lanes, all have different characteristics if we really want to optimize, and then we can mix and match a little bit is kind of where we fell on that. We griped a little bit about system issues, but we didn't talk in depth on that. But what I tell you on that is it's part of doing business, right? Like systems are going to fail. So you have to make sure you're not too dependent on any one system. And I'll give you that.
Especially if it's eBay.
Especially if it's eBay. And how's that eBay live selling going?
What eBay live selling?
You did reapply though now that they opened it up, right?
eBay has live selling? Never saw it.
They're dead to me, he says.
Never saw it.
All right. Well, I think that's all we got, Adam. I'm good to go if you are.
Yep. Good night, everybody. And remember, you can't sell what you don't list or what you don't host in a live show, I guess. I have to change my whole saying now.
There you go.
But we'll see y'all next time. Remember, 8 Central Standard Time every Wednesday. Join us live. JC3 Cards and Collectibles. I'm the Dollar Box. And we got some goats around us here somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see you next time.